Sometimes we just want to lay down and watch something easy to digest, cheesy and lighthearted, starring some actor or actress that you like or have a crush on. And winter, spring, summer, or fall fits that description perfectly. A bit of a long name, actually. Spoilers ahead. I'll be upfront. This isn't a great movie if you're judging it by traditional cinematic standards. But that doesn't mean you won't have a good time with it. You've seen this kind of story before. A nerdy girl falls in love for a guy who gives off this bad boy energy but is ultimately harmless. She gets into Harvard because of course she does. And he wants to go save turtles in Costa Rica or something. Why? Well, why not? She considers deferring Harvard to stay with him and help turtles. And then she realizes that's a pretty ridiculous idea because it's Harvard. And well, she just does what she's supposed to do. So they break up, but the feelings never truly go away. He ends up joining a band, not as a musician, but as a kind of roadie or assistant, and eventually travels to Boston. After a classic dramatic moment, he wins her back with a serenade outside her window. I mean, come on, what's not to like there? Sure, the film has a modest budget, and yes, the dialogue can be painful at times, but that's also part of the charm. If you're into cheesy teen romance films, chances are you'll enjoy this one too. Do the leads have chemistry? Absolutely. But it is Jenna Ortega who ultimately elevates this film. I'll admit it, I'm biased. I'd watch Jenna Ortega present the weather and still enjoy every minute of it. I'm not gonna pretend like I wouldn't. But bias aside, she genuinely gives a strong performance here, and her co-star holds his own as well. The filmmakers didn't skimp on the leads, and that makes a huge difference, especially in a movie that lives and dies by its characters. Now, is the dialogue occasionally cringeworthy? Definitely. But this isn't a movie aiming for Oscars or critical acclaim. It's aiming to entertain people who don't feel like watching a slow burn Polish drama with subtitles about the human condition. It's meant to be fun and easy to watch, and there's nothing wrong with that. Could it have benefited from tighter, smarter dialogue? For sure, but the goal here was relatability and escapism, not cinematic perfection. At times, it veers into soap opera territory, but the structure is surprisingly solid. I mean, you've seen it a million times before. Of course, it would be solid. It doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. You'll probably guess the ending within the first 5 minutes, but that predictability is part of the comfort it offers. These are the kinds of movies I wouldn't necessarily love to make, but I would absolutely love to live in. The ethereal summer vibe, I'll never get tired of that. Visually, the cinematography is fine. There are a few nice shots scattered throughout, nothing groundbreaking but competent. Some of the car scenes do look a bit fake, almost like a 1950s movie with a rear projection thingy going on. But that wasn't the intention, stylistically speaking. I think it was a budget thing, but sure. It's not terrible, but it is noticeable. The seasonal time jumps are a little jarring too. For example, we know it's July 4th when they break up, but once we move into fall, there's no clear date until you piece it together from the dialogue. It's not a major issue, but it does disrupt the flow slightly. I'm not saying that they should tell us every time when everything is happening, but it does serve as context, and it would be for a movie like this one, which is for the masses, I think it would be better if they are a little obvious or explicit about that, because seasons are not months or whatever, they are more than 1 month. So for example, if they say summer, I don't know if it's July or if it's June or whatever. And same goes for fall and the other seasons. That's how his seasons work. I don't think I have to explain that. But yeah, I believe for a movie like this one, it would really benefit from a little bit more care into the setting the whole time frame thing. It's not a major issue, but it does disrupt the flow slightly. A little more finesse in the transitions would have helped a lot. In terms of rewatchability, I'd give it a solid 75%. If you're a fan of any of the actors, especially Jenna Ortega, bump that up to, I don't know, 80%. I'm not complaining about seeing her in more projects, that's for sure. And that's actually why I prefer to use this rewatchability scale instead of the traditional movie score. Some films are objectively better, like The Whale, but aren't something you'd want to revisit very often. Others, like this one, aren't groundbreaking in any way, but are really fun to rewatch when you're in the right mood. It's just a different kind of value to the film, if you get what I mean. Anyway, I've said this before, But I'll say it again. I love that I can enjoy films like this and also Bergman films or Tarkovsky's films. That's the beauty of cinema. It's vast, diverse, and there's something for every mood. So, winter, spring, summer, or fall is a basic movie, sure, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's not a masterpiece, but it might be exactly the kind of film you want when you're craving something warm, romantic, and familiar. As always, thank you for watching. See you next time.